How to command your life with discipline. In the quiet hours before the world wakes, no applause. No spotlight. Just you. And the choice, to rise or to stay asleep, not just in your bed, but in your life. You see, most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never commanded themselves. They never mastered the art of doing what needs to be done, especially when they don't feel like doing it. Discipline isn't sexy. It doesn't sparkle. It doesn't trend, but it's the difference between a life of regret and a life of legacy. Because every extraordinary life, every breakthrough, every empire, every reinvention, was built on the back of one thing: sacrifice. And sacrifice only shows up where discipline is present. Discipline is saying yes to your future, even when it means saying no to your present cravings. It's skipping comfort to chase conviction. It's waking up at 5 a.m. because your goals don't care how tired you are. It's pushing through the 100th rep when no one is counting but you. It's writing the book, building the business, creating the life. Brick by unseen brick. That's the difference between potential and power. Potential waits. Power works. Abraham Lincoln knew this when he said, "Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most." He didn't become a symbol of perseverance because life was easy. He became one because discipline carried him through every personal and political failure, every moment when quitting would have been justified, but he stayed. He fought, and he commanded his destiny with character, not convenience. The world remembers those who rule themselves, but today, we've traded effort for excuses. We glorify shortcuts. We chase dopamine, we scroll while our dreams collect dust, we wait for motivation, as if it's the spark that leads to action. But that's the lie. Motivation follows discipline. Not the other way around. You don't act because you feel inspired. You feel inspired because you acted, because you moved when it was hard, because you trained your mind to obey your vision, not your mood. That's what the greats understood. Walt Disney didn't build an empire by working when he felt creative. He worked with structure. He showed up when the bank said no. He drew dreams into existence while sleeping on floors and eating rejection for breakfast. Because to build something great, you need more than talent. You need rhythm, repetition, relentlessness. You need discipline. And that's not just about morning routines or gym sessions. Discipline is a mindset. It's a belief system. It's how you show up in every area of your life, with excellence, with effort, and with edge. It's not about perfection. It's about command. Command of your time, command of your energy, command of your habits. Because if you don't lead your life, someone else will. And the truth, most people aren't tired, they're undisciplined. Their potential is buried beneath distraction, procrastination, and emotional indulgence. They spend more time planning than doing, more time explaining than executing. But there's a version of you that doesn't tolerate that anymore, a version that chooses pain in the short term for freedom in the long. Because that's what discipline is. It's the willingness to suffer on purpose, for a purpose. And when your purpose is clear, the pain becomes lighter, the sacrifice makes sense, the routine becomes sacred. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop flirting with failure. You stop living like you have forever. You realize your life is a limited time offer. And discipline is how you make every second count. But to lock into that mindset, you need vision. You need a reason bigger than sleep, bigger than snacks, bigger than comfort. Because if the why isn't powerful, the how will always feel like hell. Discipline without vision becomes drudgery, but discipline with vision becomes destiny. Every time you show up, every time you grind when no one sees, every time you choose growth over gratification, you're casting a vote for the person you're becoming. You're not just going to the gym, you're becoming the person who doesn't quit. You're not just waking up early, you're becoming the kind of leader who commands time. You're not just doing the hard thing, you're proving to yourself that your future matters more than your excuses. That's how you take command of your life, not in some dramatic moment, but in the quiet repetition of discipline. You build it in the early mornings and the late nights. You build it in the reps no one claps for. You build it when you're tired, when you're tempted, when your old life begs you to stay small, and you answer it with action, with will, with fire. Because the old you, the one who kept quitting, that version of you is gone, burned, buried, replaced by someone who knows what they want and won't stop until it's real. Discipline is how you become unstoppable. Not because you're fearless, but because you've trained your fear to shut up and follow orders. You've trained your laziness to sit in the back seat. You've trained your mind to obey your mission, not your emotions. And that's when your life starts to shift, not because it's easier, but because you're stronger.